ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Writer's Corner. I'm your host, Galen Smith, and tonight we have a very special guest, Patsy Gross, who's the Secretary of Friends of the Lost River. Patsy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Patsy, what is the Lost River Cave Valley?
The Lost River Cave Valley was formed by the collapse of a large cave system and is recognized on the National Register of Historic Places. It's located, the mouth opening of the cave is located at the intersection of Cave Mill and Nashville Road here in Bowling Green.
What is that, about 3 miles from Bowling Green heading towards Nashville
Approximately.
on 31W?
Yes.
And why is the Lost River Cave historically significant?
Well, the Lost River Cave is significant for three specific periods. The pre-settlement period, when the Indians, the Native American people lived here, archaeological studies have shown that they occupied the Cave Valley over 11,000 years ago. And then in the settlement era, the late 1700s, the pioneers used the river, they harnessed its power, and they formed a mill to use to grind their grain. And it was habitated by both Union and Confederate soldiers during the Civil War, and the Jesse James gang was even reported to have been hiding out there at times. So, and then, excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was going to tell you, I was reading through some material recently, and they supposedly found some Indian skulls and artifacts such as arrowheads and things like that in the embankment.
Right.
And do you know much about that aspect of it?
Not in detail, not in great detail, but I do know that they did live there many years ago. And the third period that I was speaking of, 3 periods, is the Big Band period, where for over 30 years the Underground Nightclub held many large dances there, many of them quite formal, and it was very famous for that.
Yeah, it seems quite fascinating that they had a dance hall down there. To me, it seems kind of romantic.
Dinah Shore even sang there. We're trying to bring her back.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be.
How old is she now? Do you know?
I don't know.
Nobody really knows. Yeah, some of this material I was reading through, I think there's quite a bit available. You can find it in the libraries, can't you? Or maybe at Western Kentucky Museum, places like that.
We have the Spirit of Lost River book that we have available that has quite a bit of information in it.
This looks like a very neat publication here. I hadn't had a chance to read this, but I am going to. And where can people get a copy of this book?
From the Friends of Lost River, and they sell for $10, and the proceeds go totally to help the Friends of Lost River in our commitment to preserve and restore the cave and Cave Valley.
And we will have an address, so if somebody wants to write you or call you, they'll be able to get a copy of that, right?
Yes, sir.
And also, let's move on.
Okay.
Who owns the property?
The 22-acre property, which includes the entrance to the cave and valley, was donated in the mid-1980s to Western Kentucky University by Leroy Highball, Dr. Raymond Cravens, and Owen Lawson. And we leased that property from them, the Friends of Lost River.
So actually, does Western Kentucky University actually own the property?
Western owns the property, and Friends of Lost River, due to financial restraints, Western Kentucky University was not able to maintain the property. Thus the formation of Friends of Lost River, who formed, and we leased the property from Western. We have leased it for 25 years with the understanding that part of the use be for educational purposes, and the master plan be developed and approved by Western and then implemented.
And what is the Friends of Lost River?
The Friends of Lost River is an organization of area citizens, community-minded citizens who banded together with in 1991 with the common goal of preserving and enhancing the natural beauty and historical significance of the Lost River Cave and Valley. And if you've never been there, I know you have, but some of our viewers may not have, it's quite a beautiful place, just absolutely gorgeous.
That's interesting that you bring that up, because I have to admit, I've been in Bowling Green since February 1988, and I didn't actually go down to the Lost River Cave until about a month ago, when my brother from Memphis came up, and his wife was with him. And we walked down the trail, and it was the most beautiful place I've ever seen, I think, in Bowling Green. And I just couldn't believe that we, as a community, that we hadn't done anything sooner to, continue to preserve it. But I admire the group's efforts and what they've done so far.
My father, John